Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're just here with a really quick video regarding the news that's broke tonight that Brendan Rodgers for a second time has left Celtic Football Club, and Martin O'Neill will be replacing him on the interim basis along with Sean Maloney, along with Brendan Rodgers. John Kennedy's also apparently has left. Glenn Driscoll's left as well. Um, I'm just
Adam Sadler.
Adam Sadler's left. I mean, this is just an absolute shambles. And say what you want about the results that Brendan Rodgers has got on the park, and they haven't been good enough. And I'm not going to be sitting on two-faced. I did probably want change, but the way they have went about it and the way they have publicly vilified this guy, because that's what I think they've done. They've absolutely vilified this guy. Is ridiculous.
Let's be honest.
So all I would say, and I'm going to start this off, no matter what you think Brendan Rodgers' results, the change is probably needed, right? I can understand that, but this board are a fucking joke. They're an absolute disgrace to this football club. The lot of them, and that includes Dermot Desmond. An absolute disgrace. Peter Lawwell, a disgrace. And you know what? See people that sit there and, people will spin this in two different ways. People will spin this in my way in terms of or everybody else's way of the board of, right, let's turn our focus to the board. Don't take your eyes off this board. That's the phrase it goes about. But there'll be other people out there saying, he's done it again, he's a snake. Well done. Well done. You've got what you've wanted. And now you see that it doesn't matter what manager you put in place at this football club, the same crap will continue. Honestly, anybody that sticks up for this board, I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, Brendan Rodgers had his faults this season. It wasn't going well on the park, right? I stand by that. It wasn't going well on the park. Everybody could see it wasn't going well on the park. But if you're most of the blame is towards Brendan Rodgers, you need to really have a look at and reevaluate where all eyes should be on this board now, and it should be a joint effort to get change at this club. Now the manager's left, right? People should follow, and by people I mean board members. They should follow, and I wish a majority shareholder would fuck off as well. And anybody who disagrees with me, you can unsubscribe, do whatever. I don't care, because I say what I think on this channel. And I'm sorry, but this board are an absolute disgrace. They don't care about you. They don't care about us. They don't care about supporters. They don't care about any of us. And there needs to be change at this club. I'm going to read the statement, and then because this video will probably turn into just a really quick one, and then we'll discuss it probably tomorrow, whatever, trying to decipher it a bit more. The statement, I've also realised my head's just chopped off the top at the front of it as well. So, but anyway, this video is going to be. So I'll read the original one where it was just talking about it leaves the club, and then I'll go into the chairman's statement, or whatever the fuck you call him.
The lads is here.
I don't. He's irrelevant to me. No matter what he is. Celtic Football Club can confirm that Celtic football manager Brendan Rodgers has tendered his resignation. It's been accepted by the club, and Brendan will leave his role with immediate effect. The club appreciates Brendan's contribution during his two very successful periods at the club. Brendan leaves Celtic with our thanks for the role, which I just find laughable when I read out the next statement. He has played during a period of continued success for the club, and we wish him further success in the future. The process to appoint a new permanent manager is underway, and the club will update supporters further on this as soon as possible. We are pleased that during the interim period, former Celtic manager Martin O'Neill, who is 72 by the way, and former Celtic player Sean Maloney has agreed to take charge of Celtic first team matters. on an interim basis. Further details will confirm shortly. Then it was followed by, I think even this scathing statement from majority shareholder Dermot Desmond, who barely ever speaks, by the way. Brendan Rodgers has today tendered his resignation as Celtic manager of Celtic Football Club. I want to acknowledge Brendan's contributions among these across the two spells. All that, we've already said that. However, I must also express my deep disappointment at the way the past several months has unfolded. When we brought Brendan back to the Celtic 2 years ago, it was done with a complete trust and belief in his ability to lead the club into a new era of sustained success. Unfortunately, I love how they talk about new era with sustained success, and you've still got the same dinosaurs in the boardroom. But anyway, um, a new era of sustained success. Unfortunately, his conduct and communication in recent months has not just reflected that trust. In June, both Michael Nicholson and I expressed to Brendan that we were keen to offer him a contract extension to reaffirm the club's full backing and long-term commitment to him. Now, this is what I will not stick up for the board as such, right? But this is what I will kind of go at, right? Rodgers hasn't helped himself here. To reaffirm the club's full backing and long-term commitment to him, he said he would need to think about it and revert. Yet, in subsequent press conferences, Brendan implied that the club had made no commitment to an offer him a contract. That was simple and true. We met with Brendan regularly in December last year and at the start of the summer, with regular dialogue between to discuss and agree a collective strategy. That's a laugh. Priorities and an approach. Every player that was signed and every player that sold during his tenure was done with Brendan's full knowledge, approval, and endorsement. Any other otherwise is absolutely false. His later public statements about the transfer and club operations came entirely at the blue. At no prior point to those remarks had he raised any such concerns with me, Michael, or any sort member of the board or executive team. And in reality, he was giving final say over all football matters. I don't quite believe that personally. I was consistently backed in the recruitment process. Don't believe that again for a second. And I don't believe the whole recruitment process shite because I've not got one. Including record investment in players. I love how they I'm obviously going in a minute, but I love how I'm just picking up bits here. I love how they conveniently, keep out the record sales that we got for players. But they keep in the record, payment players. But anyway, doesn't fit their narrative, it would seem. Um, and personally, he identified and approved. When his comments were made publicly, I sought to address him directly. Brendan and I met over 3 hours at his home in Scotland to discuss the issue. Despite ample opportunity, he was unable to identify a single instance where the club had obstructed or failed to support him. The facts did not match his public narrative. Regrettably, his words and actions since have been decisive, misleading, self-serving. They have contributed to a toxic atmosphere around the club, and fueled hostility towards members of the executive team and board. Some abuse was directed at them and their families. I I don't believe any of this shit, to be honest with you. At their families and has been entirely unwanted or unacceptable. Every member of the board and executive is deeply passionate about Celtic. And acts at all times with professionalism. But does that include shrugging your shoulders at your fans? Anyway. Integrity and shared desire for success. Yeah, again, what I said recently was not due to our structure. By the way, when I'm sniggering, I'm trying not to piss myself laughing at this, because it's had it or model, but to one individual's desire for self-preservation at the expense of all. Oh, the fucking irony in that! Oh, how fucking dare you, man! Read the fucking room, you absolute wankers, man! Seriously, I know you're. hear you, Alistair. You're bubbling to come in there. I'll just finish this last bit, and then we'll get to it. Celtic structure, where the manager oversees football, the chief executive manages operations. Badly, shall I add? Doesn't answer his phone, and the board provides oversight. Oversight has served the club with great success in Europe or domestically. Of more than 2 decades, we all share the same ambition to ensure Celtic's continued success domestically. So why are we sitting 8 points behind Hearts then? And to achieve further progress in Europe, in the Europa League, by the way, with 4 points. Every pound generated by the club is reinvested towards those goals and the continuous improvement of Celtic Football Club. That's why we've got a stadium that's not been fixed in 8 months. That's why we've got a playing squad that's clearly not fucking good enough. Celtic is greater than any one person. Oh, the fucking irony in that again. Very ironic, this statement. Very fucking ironic. I know I'm swearing a lot, but I'm no happy. I'm fuming, to be honest. Our focus is now on restoring harmony, strengthening the squad, and continue to build a club worthy of its values, traditions, and supporters. Don't sit there and talk to me about values and traditions. Yous are the sole people that have stripped this club of values and traditions for years. Don't sit there and tell me about values and traditions and all that sort of stuff. You know, and then talking about harmony. No, you know what you want? You're not a yes man who just sit and say yes to everything. But Alistair, I mean, you've got a lot to cover there. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that. We've done this channel for coming up for 2 years, and I have never, and I've been a Celtic fan since I was 4 or 5, 6 probably. I have never.
Ronnie Dyler.
I have never, and not even just Celtic, I have never seen a football club put a statement like that. That is scathing. Scathing.
Good boys. No, I'll bail you, Josh. Listen, you covered the statement, and there's very few bits. There's 1 or 2 bits I do agree with. Listen, I have no doubt Brendan Rodgers has been a pain in the ass to deal with when it comes to. He's been argumentative, shall we say, and he's no doubt. No doubt that they're right and wrong on both sides. I don't doubt that.
What do you think they're right about and what do you think they're wrong about? Let's start that way so let's at least get a bit of structure. What do you think first they're right about?
I think they're right about the contract.
Right, okay.
No, and here's something. If that was the case and we had over ducks in a row, he should have went. See, as soon as he says, I need to think about it, alarm bells should be going off in their head.
Exactly.
And I've always been consistent, Josh. And what I've always said, go back to the earlier videos in last season, don't let Brendan into his last series contract, because this is what happens. And I also think they're wrong to say they backed him to the halt. A couple of months ago, me and Josh, off camera and on, done a video of the arithmetic that Rodgers had spent with sales and out. He wouldn't have had a net spend, so that's bullshit for a start. And can I just say one thing on Dermot Desmond? I cannot remember him coming out, so obviously he doesn't trust the rest of the board. That's why he's done that and put his name to it.
By the way, this is also the guy who was regarded as Brendan's man.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dermot's man. Sorry, Brendan Rodgers was Dermot's man. He was Dermot's choice. No, I'm not saying that Brendan Rodgers is entirely flawless. I think there has been a lot going on behind the scenes. I don't know if he's trying to worth his ticket, but I've always been consistent, and I think both of us have always been consistent in saying the day Brendan Rodgers leaves this club, for whatever reason, the focus should be on the board, not the manager, because it doesn't matter who you put in that situation. They've rolled out a 72-year-old man who has got a ridiculous Celtic legacy, who didn't even clearly did not even know about it this morning because he was sitting on TalkSport about
With
11
Jim
hours
White,
ago.
people.
Aye,
With Jim White.
sitting on TalkSport saying that he'd like Hearts to Hearts could maybe do it. Hearts could win the league. So he clearly didn't know that. And the complete disrespect that they have shown the Martin O'Neill, a club legend.
And
Martin O'Neill is because realistically, this is why you don't want people who have already been at the club managing them, because there's a chance. I don't know how long he's got to be in charge for, right? But there's a chance his legacy could be tainted.
Well, let me answer that question, Josh. Now, cards on the table. A lot of people of my age think Martin O'Neill is the second best manager. I do personally, because he's on in the team that he helped beat in his legacy, right? So regardless of how this interim spell goes, he's got a free pass from me.
Oh no, definitely he's got a free pass.
I will say that. And now I'm going to be honest, Josh. I've not even asked you this question. I find it bizarre that Brendan Rodgers has resigned, and
he's not resigned. He's not resigned. It might look at that on paper. He's not. I think he's been told, here's X amount of money, take it.
Well,
because that's usually what happens.
Speculation, Josh, but I'm only saying what the statement says. The club statement, no Dermot Desmond's. I'm going to say this. If he has resigned, and let's be honest, it's different than the last time. It really is different.
The focus should be different for a start.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the board are hoping, and I hope this doesn't happen, it divides the support. I hope that doesn't happen.
No.
But the one thing, if he has resigned, Josh, I thought he would at least see Sunday out.
I thought that.
And if he has resigned, then I don't think, fuck the board for a second, I don't think you leave those players in the week of Derby in 24 hours, just over 24 hours away from a game. Where does that happen before? It's no worse to me.
Because that's why I don't think he's resigned. Now, Brendan Rodgers has got his faults, right? And he has got his faults. But he would have wanted to see out Sunday. You know, the last time I think it was a home game against Motherwell, or I think we went up to Tynecastle, I think it was, when Lennon took charge. He's been told he's going. He's been told. Now, this is also all speculation, but I don't believe that Brendan Rodgers has said, I want to go. There's clearly been some sort of disagreement. And I'm not saying, yet again, I keep saying this, I'm not saying Brendan Rodgers is in any way flawless. You know, the results has not been good enough. I'm pretty sure he's probably been, has been causing something behind the scenes or whatever. But he's not resigned in my eyes. He's not. They can put that down on paper, but I don't believe it. I don't. I think he's been told, like, we're not getting anywhere here. here's X amount of money, on you go.
And see if they have bagged them out as a popular phrase. I think I can't be two-faced like you, Josh. I am not unhappy. I'm not exactly cock a hoop either. But the fact is, the way it's been done, that if they just come out and said Brendan Rodgers has left Celtic, we'll be recruiting a manager as quick as possible, probably 150 days for now. But I just I have never seen it. I'm like you, mate. I am older than you. I have never seen a statement like that. Certainly from our club, on bashing a manager.
If you're talking about recruitment, they should have a manager in by next Monday. In my eyes, Martin O'Neill should not be getting any more than a week in charge of Celtic, and that's no disrespect to Martin O'Neill, but come on,
You
fuck,
want
man.
my honest opinion? They bought Martin O'Neill in to get by Sunday.
Which is absolutely disgraceful. A League Cup semi-final against your rivals, and you're scraped by. Nah, and that's why
I'm not wrong, no, am I?
No, I'm not for a minute saying you're wrong. I just think it's an absolute damning indictment. It's disgraceful.
And can I put this out there, Josh? For the people who think, I believe Ange Postecoglou's the favourite.
Not going to happen.
Right, but I know it's not going to happen because if that was happening, it'd be here by now. What's he doing?
Aye, and the thing is, Rodgers is not flawless, and obviously he's now obviously been he's left now. So, but the board for me, there needs to be fans.
Know why the AGM was announced.
Fans need to start voting with their feet now. They need to start not going to games. They need to start. I'm personally. I said that after Sunday I'm going to be going on Wednesday, and I stand by that. I'm not going. Fans need to start voting with their feet because this is a mess. Now take Brendan Rodgers out and take it left the club. See if it left the club, and as I said, we probably weren't adverse to a change, but it's the state that we've got ourselves into is disgraceful for a football club. This football club is gone. It's unrecognisable. Celtic were in, and I keep bringing this up. Celtic were in a Champions League knockout tie with Bayern Munich in the playoff knockout time ever. With Bayern Munich in the Allianz, nearly took them to extra time, and this is where we are now. Fucking Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney, and that is no disrespect to Martin O'Neill, club legend.
The put him in an impossible situation.
Jesus Christ!
The put him in an impossible situation.
He has, and it's this board. And I'm gonna, before we end off, I'm gonna talk about some of the absolute irony in this statement. Talking about a toxic and self-serving, misleading, diversive. These same words can be used for every single one of you. And that includes Dermot Desmond, Michael Nicholson, Chris Mackay, Peter Lawwell. You're all that. But you've not got the balls to come out and admit it. You hide behind a screen and you hide behind your statements, your nameless statements. The irony you putting that, because you are every single one of those. You're toxic. You're this misleading. You're self-serving. You're more than self-serving every single year. He's put hundreds of dividends in each other's pockets. And I'm going to go on a bit of rant here because I've had enough. They blame everybody else but themselves. They never come out and take responsibility for anything. So what they got to do now then? So say we bring in another manager, right? And we'll be in the same situation in the summer. Don't back them. Because they are the problem. No, they won't. It's not they don't need to. They don't need to do anything because they don't care.
No, Josh, I come. You know what they'll do? They'll back him for 1, 2 windows max. They'll do it. They'll do what they normally do. Bring a
Aye,
new manager and get the team at a reasonable level, and then they'll pull the reins back. I've
aye.
seen it so often it hurts.
They sit and lie. They sit and lie about how they've got this structure in place. Bollocks. There's no structure.
No,
Not no
no.
one. Not one person is greater than the club. Tell that to yourself, then, Mister Desmond. You tell that to yourself, and actually come here and show a bit of interest in your club.
And see, to be honest, the whole, the one group of people I feel sorry for are the supporters in this
Aye,
because because they've made a rip roaring arse of it, arse of it. The second most successful manager, and he leaves for the second time, and as the song goes, through, heard us calling through the night.
do,
Very
do, do, do
ironic that.
you know? Do you know what's ironic as well? The fact that John Kennedy's pissed off.
Well, I
I think
think
he's went like, fuck this.
I think to be honest, Josh, um, I I don't think Kennedy leaving's a bad thing. I don't.
Um,
I
it's
don't.
one of those things where time will tell. But
I
it's
don't.
not even if it's a bad or a good thing. That's your opinion. I don't personally agree, but and at the end of the time, will tell. It's not really about if it's a good or a bad
It's
thing.
not
It's the fact
John Kennedy.
it's the fact he's left as well, and he's so that's very telling for me as well. Um, and then they talk about how talking about values and traditions. These are fucked the values and traditions. That's used to be a club of competing in Europe. That was one of the traditions of this club. You fucked it. Used to be a club that was based in charity. Now it's just here's your £300 for your 100 strips that you release
What
every
you
summer.
going to do is I.
So don't sit there and talk to us about fucking values and everything else because you are the problem in this club. The boardroom are the problem at this club, and they'll continue to be the problem at this club. Not managers, not players. The boardroom will continue to be this. Now they've got a decision to make because as I said, I want to see a manager next Monday. I don't know who the fuck that's going to be, but if there's not a manager next Monday, then
Well,
it's
Josh,
a
can I
shame.
be completely honest? My gut instinct is telling me they're waiting for somebody.
Not good enough. Not
I'm
good enough.
no, I'm just saying.
No, I know what you're just saying, but it's not good enough.
That's,
It's not
that's
good enough. It's not good enough to wait for somebody. You knew this. The club knew.
no Sunday. I think they're waiting for somebody.
No, I said no. I know. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not good enough to wait for somebody. You're a top club. You're one of the top clubs in Europe. Act like it. Now they knew. They've admitted there. They knew. They knew that Brendan Rodgers was hesitant in signing a new deal at that point. On
Should
right,
have been
as you,
sacked. He should have
aye,
been sacked then, Josh.
not even sacked. Not even sacked. They should have been got at that right, and I hope they have been doing this. As you said earlier on, they should have been like right. We need to start looking at a new manager then because he's not looking at a new deal. So even if he does leave in the summer, we can go at that right. We're going to bring X, Y, and Z in, but they've not do that because that's how a proper club operates. End of. But we don't act like that. So you'll be waiting 50, 40, 50 days for a manager. I can guarantee it.
Well, the quickest I think we might do it is the international break.
No quick enough.
I'm telling you, Josh.
No, I agree with you. But as I said, it's not quick enough.
And I said
For
the quickest very well. It
I
wouldn't surprise me, and as I've already said, Martin O'Neill's a manager I've got a lot of respect for. And to put him in this position,
it's
just
disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. But
And
as I said,
he's probably only doing it because he loves the club.
aye. And I will put that in there. I wish him I wish him the best. Of course I do. Wish him the best.
And I'm saying this tongue in cheek. If you're free up in 11.5 minutes on Sunday, that's tongue in cheek, Josh.
I didn't know you were a comedian. Aye, it could be the latter, probably 3 down. But obviously it's the news that we didn't expect. We probably expected we were looking for a new manager in the summer. Now we're looking for a new manager. Well, we're 8 points behind Hearts. Pretty terrible in Europe.
Josh, and I'm going to try, and maybe this is me, half full guy again. I'm going to say this: if you're going, he's away now, so get the fucking replacement in as soon as.
No, he's away now. Get your eyes on this board and get change at the top where it really has to come.
Yeah,
and that's what I'd say to people. Start voting with your feet and start, because the people at the top of this club, it needs changing. It's stinking, it's rotten, it's done, it's finished. You need to start voting with your feet, and I'm just going to end it on this, and get these idiots out who sit there and try and blame everybody else but themselves while hypocriting them in every sentence that comes out their mouth, talking about values.
Dermot Desmond statement, as you say, the irony is unbelievable.
Yes, they talk about toxic, but this is a board that talk about toxic thing and talk about how Brendan Rodgers has been toxic and he's unrest the dressing room and all this garbage. The absolute fucking irony. So fans have had enough, and this is just going to further add, because most fans will have their eyes fixed on that board, and that is the key thing to do it.
Can I just say before we finish, Josh, I pity the next poor bastard that takes this job.
Because he's coming into an absolute bear pit. He's coming in to deal with that board. The fact that coaches are away, it needs to be executives that are going to be leaving this club, because enough is enough. There needs to be somebody with modern ideas. So if Dermot wants to get involved and put his crappy statements, maybe get involved and get all your wee pals out the boardroom, but of course you won't do that, because they make you a lot of money. So you won't do that. Dermot, you'll get involved when you want to get involved, and you always get involved in the right team. As I said, Brendan Rodgers probably had to go, but the way they have went about it is absolutely shocking.
You don't treat successful managers that way.
Aye. Now this board domestically have been successful for us and all that. Fine. But at the end of the day, they are sinking this club lower and lower, and the ambitions of this club are going lower and lower under this current regime. So there needs to be change at the top of this club, and all fans' eyes need to be on this board. But I'm going to wrap it up there for that just kind of video. We'll be back probably this will be out on Tuesday, so we'll probably be back again to build up to the game against Falkirk.
Folks, so stand by your beds, as they say.
But as I said, I'm leaving surprised again in this, and keep your eyes on this board, because that's what has to happen. But we'll speak again later on when we build up to the Falkirk game. But until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.